Welcome to the Man of Recaps. This is Bridgerton, Season 3. It's the start of a new social season, and the gossip column Lady Whistledown is doing better than ever, written anonymously, of course, by our friend Penelope Featherington. The Bridgerton we focus on this season, back from his travels overseas, it's young Colin Bridgerton, and oh, he got hot. He's had a glow-up over the summer, and now come back with a cool adventurer vibe. Penelope Featherington, his neighbor and friend, has always had a crush on Colin. Colin really likes Penelope, but he's made it clear just as friends. Penelope decides fine his loss, and comes to the first ball of the season with a gorgeous new dress. But Penelope has always been a wallflower, she has no experience flirting, and is pretty bad at it. So Colin comes to help his friend, like, look Pen, I got cool over the summer, it's easy, I can teach you how. So Colin is going to teach Penelope how to flirt and help her get a husband. I think you can see where this is going. And so it's fun times, as Penelope is truly bad at talking to boys, except of course with Colin, with whom she feels comfortable and can be her true, intelligent, witty self. So as these two practice fake flirting, it kind of turns into real flirting, and long story short, when it's time to teach Penelope how to kiss, these two start making out. And oh, the spark is lit. Colin realizes he's in love with her. Meanwhile, another Bridgerton daughter is making her debut this year. It's Francesca Bridgerton. How have we never met her before? This whole time she's been studying piano abroad. With the Bridgertons' great track record, Queen Charlotte decides to name her the Diamond of the Season. But Francesca doesn't like talking to suitors. She's very much an introvert. So when she runs out to get some peace and quiet, she meets a gentleman here doing the same. It's John Sterling. He's content to simply stand quietly, and so Francesca's smitten. They start up a funny courtship where they just don't talk. Mama Bridgerton, Lady Violet, meets a gentleman too this season. It's Lord Marcus Anderson. He's the brother of our favorite gossip grandma, Lady Danbury. It's a problem because she hates her brother, but turns out he's a good guy. It was all a childhood misunderstanding, and long story short, she gives her blessing, so it's finally time for Mama Bridgerton to find romance herself. Benedict Bridgerton, the second son, very much enjoys being single, but now he meets an independent woman, Lady Tilly Arnold. Because she's a widow and the lady of her own house, they get to skip the boring courtship and get right to the good stuff. One night she invites her best friend Paul over for dinner, and Benedict discovers, oh, I'm bi. And so this throuple has a threesome that lasts basically the entire season. Anthony and Kate come to visit. They got big news, they're pregnant. And don't forget the younger Bridgertons, who are occasionally in the background being funny. There's drama at the Featherington house. They need a male heir or they're going to lose their title. Penelope's sisters are married now, so they have a race to get pregnant because the firstborn son will be the new Lord Featherington. But it soon becomes clear they don't know where babies come from, so Mama Featherington's gotta give them the talk. Eloise Bridgerton is still in a fight with her longtime best friend Penelope because she found out last season that she is Lady Whistledown. So Eloise has befriended their former rival, Cressida Cowper, who turns out is not that bad. Her target this season is Lord Debling. He loves nature, which is super lame, but he's rich, so she'll make it work. But when he sees Penelope is smart and funny, he actually takes a liking to her. It comes to a head at the hot air balloon party. Colin's going crazy for Penelope, but he hasn't figured out how to tell her yet, so Penelope's flirting with Lord Debling. But now the wind picks up and Penelope's in danger of being crushed by this slow-moving balloon. So Adventure Colin leaps into action, grabs the rope, but it's Lord Debling who dives on in to save her. Pretty soon, he plans to propose, and while it's not a love match that Penelope has always dreamed of, it is a like match, which is pretty darn good. But now Colin can't contain himself. He runs down Penelope's carriage. Look, Pen, I think I like you more than friends. Do you like me more than friends? Yeah. Obviously, and so these two start making out. In his travels abroad, the French girls taught Colin a few tricks, and so things get spicy. Colin immediately proposes, so Penelope's dreams are coming true. Now that they're engaged, they're gonna do it, but Penelope's feeling self-conscious. She's like, look, I know I don't have a traditionally hot body. But Colin's like, girl, you kidding? Curves are sexy, and you don't need to be super thin. I got enough abs for both of us. So Colin and Penelope get it on, and they're set to live happily ever after. But the season's only halfway through. The drama is Penelope's hiding the secret that she is Lady Whistledown. At the start of the season, when she was mad at Colin, she wrote a brutal takedown of him, and so Colin's decided he hates Lady Whistledown. Eloise is mad at Penelope too. If you don't tell him tonight, then I will. So Penelope's about to tell him, but she's interrupted by Cressida Cowper making an announcement that she is Lady Whistledown. Say what? Yes, Cressida's matches keep falling through because she's always competing with the Bridgertons, who are the main characters. And now her terrible father is gonna marry her off to some old dude. But Queen Charlotte, who has long been trying to unmask Lady Whistledown, now offers a reward for her identity. So Cressida decided to claim to be Lady Whistledown, and she'll use that money to live as an independent woman. Problem is, Cressida has to write an issue to prove she's Lady Whistledown, and she's not a very good writer. But she gets her mom to help with her homework and actually puts out a pretty convincing issue. Maybe this is for the best. Penelope can stop writing Whistledown and Colin never has to know. But while Penelope is occasionally mean, she only reports true rumors. Cressida leans fully into the meanness of it with completely unfounded speculation. Penelope can't let her legacy be ruined like this, and finally Eloise agrees. Best friends talk it out and are best friends again. So Penelope puts out her own Whistledown, discrediting Cressida, and it's very obvious which one is real. But when Penelope went to print her issue, Colin followed her. Oh, busted! As you might imagine, he completely overreacts and is really mad. It's an awkward time to have a huge fight because they're actively planning the wedding. But pretty soon they work things out the Bridgerton way by having a huge shouting match, then accidentally making out. And so these two are back in love and have a wonderful fairy tale wedding. Francesca and John get married too, with a nice, quiet, small wedding, showing the rest of the Bridgerton family that love doesn't have to be a crazy, melodramatic, tumultuous affair. Sometimes you just like each other. But meanwhile, for Cressida Cowper, things are worse than ever. And she discovered the real Lady Whistledown is Penelope and blackmails her to keep the secret. So Penelope realizes she's gonna have to come clean. She confesses first to Queen Charlotte, so at the next ball, the Queen comes in and publicly unmasks her. Penelope makes a heartfelt speech apologizing for everyone's feelings she's hurt and reputation she's destroyed. She's like, I'm gonna do better. The Queen is the final arbiter of what's okay and what is not, and since she loves Whistledown, she says, Penelope, you're okay. And so it's a happy ending. Penelope's secret is out, but now she gets to live her truth as Lady Whistledown, the intelligent writer she is. Where do we leave the other Bridgertons? Lady Violet is happily courting Lord Marcus. Francesca will be moving to her new husband's castle in Scotland, and Eloise wants to come for a fun Scottish adventure. And that's okay, they're already hosting a summer guest, Lord John's cousin, Michaela Sterling. She seems to be a feisty, intelligent woman, and uh-oh, what's this? Francesca's reacting weird. It seems like she realizes she's into girls. Benedict Bridgerton is loving living as a throuple, but one day Tilly catches feelings. I want it to be just the two of us and date you for real, and Benedict's not into that. We'll delve more into his love life, as Benedict Bridgerton will be the focus of season 4. But as this season comes to an end, Penelope's sisters both have girls, so her and Colin's son is the new Lord Featherington. She continues to write Lady Whistledown, but now as herself, Penelope Bridgerton. And that's where Bridgerton Season 3 comes to an end. If you liked this recap, hit that subscribe button for more of the best recaps of TV and movies.